The T54E1 is an American Tier 9 medium tank. It is a medium tank with an oscillating turret and automatic loading system. The tank was developed on the basis of the M48 tank in the mid-1950s. Only 2 prototypes were built. However, during trials automatic loading proved faulty and the development was discontinued in 1957. The T54E1 leads to the T57 heavy tank, but let's see how it fares in some gameplay. Hello guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks Ace Tanker series. As you can see, today we'll be driving the T54E1, and this what you are seeing here is a mod that's a zoom out mod, as you can see, so yeah, get used to this kind of driving in this replay. Driving the T54E1 for us is Heartbreaker, and he is going to show us on the Murovanka map how you should use your T54E1. Well, for the best part on this side of the map, then he is going to relocate to the other side, so yes, stick to the end. It is quite interesting how he deals with the last couple of tanks. It is going to be a very exciting replay. So as you can see, he has a pretty nice matchup here. He is well top tier, 5 tier 9 tanks here, 5 tier 9 tanks on the enemy team, and the rest are tier 8 and tier 7, so this is some sweet spot that you can get in the T54E1. Now you might, well, think about why he didn't shoot there on the T34-3. That's because he has 210mm of penetration with the shells that you get on the T54E1, so shooting at the cupola of the T34-3 really is not going to penetrate. So he decides to wait, and well, he is going to wait for a better opportunity, and this is probably the best opportunity that he is going to get. The lower plate of the IS-3 tank, that was just, I don't know what that guy was trying to do. He was going over the ridgeline, exposing his lower plate to shoot at the LTTB. Yeah, really not that smart of a move from that IS-3 driver. Now, as you may well know, the T54E1 is a autoloader, so it has 4 shells in the autoloader. I believe the cycle of the full clip is about 33-34 seconds, so yeah, you are going to reload about half a minute when you fire your clip. The cycle between the shells in the clip is 2.2 seconds. That when you're fighting against the T54E1, you should know the cycle of the tank, so you really don't want to go out and take those autoloading shots. Now, this is what the autoloader is good for. Now you can see this T54E1 on the enemy team trying to push up, and he is dead. Yeah, don't do that, don't be that guy, as I always like to say. Don't be that guy that just YOLOs out and receives all the damage for himself. Really, there was no point for that T54E1 to go over. Well, there was no need for him to go over in front of another T54E1. Now, as you can see, Heartbreaker is retreating here, and why? Because there is only 3 of them left against the 4 enemy tanks, and most of those tanks are tier 9, and he got a beating here as he was retreating. He is on 330 HP, and he needs to be really careful if he wants to do something more on this map. Now you can see the first shot went into the Jack Tiger's lower plate, then he switches back to the FCM 50 ton. This choice of targets is, well, he's going for the softer target. As I said, 220mm of penetration. It went into the lower plate, even though he wasn't aiming for the lower plate. Now he was lucky there. But if he had shot the Yak Tiger in the upper plate, or if the Yak Tiger was slightly angled, it is a matter of question if he would penetrate. He is rocking premium shells. They do have more penetration, it's 265 I believe, but still he has to be really careful when shooting at the armor targets. You never know if you're going to penetrate. Now what he is doing here is a smart thing to do. You are not going to stay alone on one side and wait for the enemy team to kill you basically, so he decides to just pull back to a safe distance, and well, on Murovanka the safe distance is going towards these bushes here. He is going to show you the position where you can ambush your enemies. So this is a little dip just around this ridge here. You go down and you stay in the bushes there. You are going to spot the enemies before they spot you if you have, well, any decent crew with the camo research. So yeah, this is the position. This is where you want to be in your medium tank when you retreat from that position. Why here? Well, it is really important that you are spotting for your friendly tanks. You can see that the friendly tanks are camping on the G3 line. So from that position they are going to have the side shots of everything that tries to move up towards you or towards the base. So it is very important that you spot everything that is in this position. Now, situation on the map, you can see that the friendly heavy tanks have pushed through the enemy heavy tanks. Well, really they didn't have much opposition because most of the enemy heavy tanks were on the other side fighting against Heartbreaker. But yeah, they have pushed through and now they are going to die one by one, as you saw there. That was really disappointing for them to try to push against the E75. You can see that the E75 is in a good position there. I believe he is hull down and it is very hard for them to just, well, go in and deal with the E75. Well, especially when they have the Skoda T50 and the batch at 25 ton shooting from them to the side. So really the M103 and the I6 should not go and, well, fight against that Batchat and that T54 and sorry, that Skoda T50 and the 75. So yeah, now what you can see here is Heartbreaker just pulling away from that position. So why he did this? Because he was, well, he spotted the heavy tank that was the FCM that was trying to go near the friendly base. He finished him off, and as you can see, all of the enemy tanks are spotted somewhere around the, well, northern side of the map. So the enemies have decided to pull back and try and defend against that heavy push that was on the left side. So yeah, this is some really good thinking by him to go back and just try and snipe from this position. As you saw there, he was able to put side shots into the Yak Tiger and finish him off on blind shot on the side of the Yak Tiger as well. So good move by him and very good, well, damage then there on the Yak Tiger. Now the problem is that the, well, friendly team is not doing so well. They are pushing up one by one, and that's a problem. You saw that LTDP was trying to spot on the position where he died. I believe it was on H7, and he got spotted by the T343, and then he got shot down by all of the tanks that are situated in the Magic Forest. Yeah, it's really not the Magic Forest that was in the previous patches, but really it is still a Magic Forest. If the enemy tanks are shooting you from it and you cannot spot them, there is no way that you are going to spot them if you are not in that forest. So that was a pretty bad move by the LTTB, and that may cost them, well, a couple of times. Now you can see that the I6 and M103 are on low HP and they're still trying to push the forest. That's, well, I have to say once again, that's a really bad move. Now he spots the E75. He's aiming at the E75. First one goes into the turret, side of the turret. The second one, I believe he fired on blind into the lower plate. The third one, the fourth one, and he gets spotted by the Batchet. Batchet puts one in. He is left on 28 damage, and oh, if he survives this, it is going to be, oh, the ricochet on the dead I6 there, dead friendly I6. So he did great here. He was, well, he put his back towards the dead tank there, that was the I6, and he was able to get out of that position for the Batchet not to shoot him. The Batchet fired 3, only one hit him and penetrated. Wow, that was some lucky move there. So yeah, he's on 28 HP, and while the enemy Skoda is doing all the work there, as soon as the M103 just popped his nose into the Magic Forest, he died. Skoda is on one shot for Heartbreaker, but he cannot find the shot from this position. And look at this, it looks like the Super Pershing is AFK. So yeah, the I6 on one shot. Yeah, the Skoda finds the KV-13, and the Super Pershing is, well, out of the game. yeah, that this is going to be a really hard one to win. If he is going to win, we are going to see at the end of the game. So, well, what he's doing here, it is very important. So, as you may have noticed, the budget was moving across the A line. So the only reason that the budget is moving across the A line is for him to go then through the one line, and Heartbreaker is just doing the best thing that he can do here in this position is try and spot the budget as he comes from this position. So he is expecting the budget here. As you can see, it is a viable option to expect the budget in this position. He may come from this position, so you have to be prepared. And when he didn't spot the budget, he decides to go the other way. So the problem is that they don't have any more spotters, so the best thing for Heartbreaker to do here is just to stay in the bushes, stay in the friendly base, try and just wait for the enemies to come to him, maybe have the first shot into them. The Tiger 1 deals with the IS-6, and now it is 1 AFK versus, sorry, 1 AFK and Heartbreaker versus 4 enemy tanks, which are pretty much alive, and they are going to try and win this one pretty quickly. So I like what Heartbreaker is doing here. He is using the super pushing to spot for him. Now he's waiting for the budget to pop up. Yeah, there's one shot. There's the second shot. I believe the budget didn't see where this one was coming from. He shot through the bushes, double bushes there, and the budget couldn't spot him. That was a really nice move there. And immediately he goes into the reload. He knows that the other tanks are coming, so he needs to reload before they come. As I said, 33 seconds up to 36, depending on the crew and the loadout that you have in your tank. But as you can see, he is using a case of cola, and if he has the brothers in arms and if he has the ventilation, he can get down to, I believe, 32 seconds. So just pretty nice. It's not the best, but it's still good. Better than the 36 that you get on 100% crew. So the T33-3 was spotted there. He is on one shot for Heartbreaker, but he needs to, well, the T33 needs to make a mistake and pop up to shoot at the super pushing so that the Heartbreaker could have a shot on him. Now the Tiger 1 is doing exactly the same thing as I was talking about. 2 shots on the Tiger 1, 3 shots on the Tiger 1, and if he takes out the Skoda, he will have a great job here on. Unfortunately, he low rolls 300 or is it 400 damage with the shell, and he low rolls here 377. He couldn't finish off the Skoda T50, and now he is in trouble. He has 2 tanks that are, albeit on the one shot both of them, and if he gets to reload in time, it looks like he is going to get the reload in time. He can still win this one. If he was using the regular tank, this would be much harder. Now he has 4 shells, he needs to put 2 shells into 2 tanks, and the enemies, really, they are fighting against the autoloader. They should know better. If they try and push on him, they have to do it, both of them at the same time together, get him from the 2 sides. We will see what the enemy team is going to do. Now Heartbreaker was left there for a couple of seconds because the super pushing was AFK. He was left alone against 4 of the enemy tanks. Let's just see if he is going to win this one. So there is no sign of the Skoda, there is no sign of there's the Skoda, and the Skoda makes a mistake here, dies. The T34-3 is nowhere to be found, and that's a mistake. That's a mistake by the enemy team. They should have pushed this one together. Now Heartbreaker has the chance to finish off this one if he finds the shot on the T34. As I said, he has the autoloader. Even though if he misses one shot, he can still get the T34-3 with the second one or the third one. Trying to find the shot here. Cat and mouse game here. Each and everybody can kill everybody here, so he needs to be really careful. Trying to find a shot here on the T34-3. There's the cupola. Maybe he can snapshot one in. No, he can go through the... Oh, the T-34 fired and, well, he's dead. Yeah. That's a GG, and let's take a look at the post-game stats. So, very good game there by Heartbreaker. At the end, he was 1 versus 4 effectively, and he managed to pull that one off. He got a couple of medals like Spotter, Hand of God, Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect, High Caliber, Tank Sniper, and a Top Gun. And of course, the Master Badge Ace Tanker. On team score sheet, we can see that he finished first with 1468 experience, 6 kills, and almost 7500 damage. On data report, we can see that he fired 28 shots, of which 25 hit the target and 23 penetrated. But as he was firing a couple of premium shells, with the premium account he lost nearly 32,000 credits. So a quick summary what we saw in this gameplay. Now we saw a great gameplay with the T54E1 all around, from start to the end of the game, and well, I was surprised that he survived that long on that low HP. But at the end he was so cunning to use the tank that was AFK for a passive spotter in that position that allowed him to finish off the Batchat and the Tiger One before they even knew what hit them and from where. Also at the end, a good composure when fighting against those two enemy tanks that were on one shot. A really great gameplay there, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. As always guys, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't like the video, you can leave a dislike. Leave a comment what you think about the gameplay and what you think about those tactics when using the AFK tank to spot for you. Also, if you don't know what to watch next, you can watch the previous video with the STB1 on the Paris map. We are talking about the medium position on the map, and we are talking about using the auto aim. And when you're done doing all that stuff, you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. Hope you guys like this one, and I'll see you in the next one.